Good morning, welcome to a new market update, and today we're going to discuss Bitcoin once again as it's an historical day and we can see it in a few minutes. But do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also do not forget to like beneath. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's helping me a lot to grow this YouTube channel. And do not forget to comment if you want to see some special content on this YouTube channel that we might be having forgotten in the past. So let's get to why it's such an historical day. Well, it's on the screen here. El Salvador has approved a bill to make Bitcoin a legal tender in its country. It's going to be the first country in the world. 62 out of 84 votes were approving this bill. So it's officially passed through, and that is just a huge, massive step forward. So that's happened earlier today. So that's great news. And we also know that Michael Saylor is buying again, or at least getting a loan of 400 million. So he's being able to buy more Bitcoin at this stage. And I think there's a lesson in there. It's it's crazy that he's doing that. But on the other hand, it shows that if you want to become a member of this market, then after such a crash, it's just giving you massive opportunities. So when we get to the chart in itself, we can see that we've got this test south. So let's just first get to the higher time frame, in which we had two scenarios, right? The first one was that we were going to test 34K, make a higher low, and then continue moving upwards from there. However, we didn't hold 34K, and then the second scenario came around, which is tapping the liquidity in this green support zone, after which we might be getting a bullish divergence and start reversing from here. First step is that we get into that liquidity zone, and we've got there, as we can see in the price structure in itself. Second step is that you break back or bounce back above. Well, that's currently what we're doing. We are bouncing. But we're still not out of the woods yet. We can see that we've got a very important level to break. That's this breaker on 35.3K. But if we start zooming in a little bit more, and I'll just use a very clean chart for that, as the rest is quite messy at this stage. So when we look at the 2-hour chart, we can see that we're still making lower highs, lower lows. So there's not much confirmation yet that we are actually reversing. So what I just said on a daily time frame, with 35K is critical to break through, that's this previous support zone. So you want Bitcoin to break through this entire region of resistance right now, which used to be support, as then you are actually destroying the structure of making lower highs and lower lows. And then the next step is that you're going to attack these highs once again. So it's a good bounce that we're seeing on Bitcoin right now, but most likely we're going to see resistance at this area, or might be actually already there at 34 high. And then you want to see a higher low being able to construct. So most likely we will get a structure like this. I'll just make it, in which we are acting sideways, and we're going to make that higher low. Might also be at 33. That's even more bullish, but you want to see such a structure, as then you are going to make new higher highs, higher lows. That's the new trend, right? So then you can also see that this entire structure here has become a new range bound construction, in which the trend is south right now, but you're getting a bullish divergence. The market refuses to drop even further because buyer's pressure is coming into the market, and then you slowly start to adapt towards an upwards trend. And then usually altcoins will follow suit, because they have been crashed through Bitcoin, but fundamentally not much has changed. And also what I said yesterday, altcoins are not sharing their updates right now because the sentiment is just not there. So the moment that the sentiment starts to flip, you will probably see more and more news being pushed out by the altcoins, in which they will be also starting to bounce back heavily, especially given the fact that the altcoins in their Bitcoin pairs are still doing fine. So then the question and topic right now is that the Bitcoin dominance is going up. Why is that? Well, Ethereum is currently correcting after finding resistance. So we have seen that Ethereum was doing really well while Bitcoin was doing really shit. And now we can see that Ethereum is correcting back down while Bitcoin is bouncing back up, which means that the Ethereum USDT pair is just consolidating like we can see here. And it's on a critical support zone. So it's 23 if between 23 and 24 is lost, I'm going to target this entire region, but for now we can just continue moving sideways. And given the fact that Ethereum is the biggest altcoin out there, it is making an influence on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we've made this structure here on Ethereum Bitcoin. It is on a crucial support right now if it wants to avoid further corrective moves. So this might be a play, but if it drops below 0.072 Bitcoin, I'm going to target this entire region here. And then we can have that sideways range bound construction in which we start compressing before it breaks out. So this is causing the Bitcoin dominance to bounce back up again. Does that mean that the Bitcoin dominance will continue running upwards from here? We'll have to see. But you should realize that most of the dominance chart is determined by Ethereum moving, given that that's the biggest altcoin by a mile. So if we look at other altcoins, for instance Cardano, it is also going to correct a little bit here after finding resistance, and the entire region of support that you should be looking at for a potential entry on Cardano is still unchanged, which is this entire region here. If that is lost, I'm going to target this here. But overall, this is very good momentum on Bitcoin, and preferably it would be great to break this entire resistance. I've got the wrong chart here. To break this resistance, or at least have more faith in which we start to make those higher highs and higher lows. So is Bitcoin bottomed out? It's getting close. We finally reached that liquidity. We bounced back up heavily, but that's still not out of the woods yet. So later today, we're going to make an altcoin video regarding Cardano. So do not forget to tune in on that one as well. And do not forget to subscribe beneath. And I'll see you again soon.